Hello everybody, we're just going to be looking at BAT then, okay? So a bit of basic attention token. We're going to work out if this is a decent buy or not, or if we're going to go long on this, because it's one of the coins I've been looking to trade more on Bityard. That's where I'm doing all my trading. You can follow me on there as a copy trader. They've just implemented that just today, in fact. So that's going to come to fruition at some point in the next week or so, and you can simply just copy my trades, basically, like in an automated fashion. Anyway, set yourself an account up and get some freebies, links down below. But let's look at BAT and let's focus on what is going on, why I'm so interested in this. So we have two things going on here. We have this support trend line where we've come down several times and basically bounced from it. It looks a little messy because the chart is essentially messy. When you see a chart looking like this, a lot of it is driven from fundamental news, price, things like that. The price reflects certain things going on outside of the market, which is why it looks like this. There's a lot of things that look like this. You look at Tron, for instance. Tron is classic, with Justin some sort of tweeting this, doing that, and basically what it does is it just if you imagine a swimming pool that's nice and still, and you can see like little ripples in it where there's little movements, that's fine, that's a decent chart. But then someone just chucks a brick in, it's going to take a while for that to set. That's a terrible analogy, but you know what I mean. And this is one of those. It's not quite as bad as Tron. It's similar to something like Matic in a way, in the way that there is method within this madness, but it's messed up. It's messed up massively because a lot of the trading is done on the back of fundamental sort of news and things like that and releases, which is good because it means that that it could pump at any time, but what it is bad because the pump could happen when you're least expecting it. So the idea is to buy as close to the bottom as you can, the bottom being around 16.5 cent, which is basically close to where we have been coming recently. Now we're in a downwards facing trend line here of resistance, and we're still underneath that. We're also underneath this giant Ichimoku cloud, and this cloud has been formed with a cross over here, and the cross was a sell signal, and that sell signal is still playing out. There's not been an opposing cross yet. Not yet. There's been close to a few crosses. And this was a very, very tight area here. It almost crossed a couple of weeks ago, but it didn't. It may find a way to cross, but this is a daily chart, so it's going to take a few weeks unless there's some massive explosion in price action. That's not going to cross. Now I'm thinking at this level now, because this is classic accumulation as well as a downwards facing trajectory. When you see the MACD, basically it's crossed positively and it's sloping up more and more and more and more. It took a dump obviously with the market, with the alt market that would be, and now it's made itself another cross back up. RSI extremely oversold at these areas, extremely oversold, and actually looking at the money flow index is extremely oversold here as well. It's so low, but not exactly a buy signal. Buy signals are when they really break out of these areas here, such as this bit here. So that was a clean buy signal there, and that would have been pretty nice. Interestingly, you didn't get that in that March dump, but you did get it there. And also, that's interesting to note that it was beneath the trend line that we're looking at, the support trend line. So we're getting close to the bottom, I would say here. We're getting close to the bottom, but are we getting close to a breakout? Well, the problem I've got is that yes, these areas down here are oversold, these areas are oversold. This isn't exactly bullish, this still looks like accumulation to me, and the volume is not exactly what I would call high, plus we've got this giant Ichimoku cloud. However, if you're looking to hold or buy some on spot, for instance, this would be an okay to buy place to buy, because we are looking at essentially 100% gain. That's kind of what we're looking at from this one in a reasonable space of time. That's kind of the target that we're looking for. So that's 100%. That's a 2x from where we are at right now. Shouldn't be too much of an issue once we break out of here, but we haven't broken out of here. Breaking out of here, unlike what happened yesterday, breaking out of here needs to be held above here. Not a wick, we're talking a candle body closure on a daily or a weekly, and we've not got that yet. Once we've got that, everything is going to be hunky-dory. So to buy this and hold it on spot, yeah, I'm sure there's other tokens out there that'll be better, but this isn't such a bad idea anyway. Plus, I am trying my hardest to trade this with my margin account on Bityard, because I know that there is a big move to be had, and a big move will happen fast. So I am trying to buy lows all the time, but it's deadly down here. Ideally, what I should be doing is wait until we break out of here and confirm out of here. But again, you know, it's when you're trading margin, especially when you're doing large leverage, you don't want a massively volatile asset. You want a reasonably stable asset that's not going to liquidate you immediately. When basically one of those is at the moment is basic attention token. And the good thing about that is that if there is going to be a giant, massive, volatile move, it's likely to be in your favor because it looks more likely to be up rather than down. So you know, yes, of course, there's giant moves down. There was a big move down here if you were to have bought at this top, and that was a 12% move. These candles don't look big because the chart is a lot bigger than just these little moves. That there is 10%. That's nothing. This is 100%. That only was 10%. So the idea is, for me, try to play within these ranges, but once we've broken out of here and closed above here, then it's time to skyrocket, and it will be an excellent opportunity to pick this stuff up. But for me, right now, it's just a matter of playing the ranges and hoping for the best. Right now, basically, I mean, it's doing okay. It's doing okay, but really, we're still in a bearish formation. So it's just little trades here and there. And one day, sometime soon, probably towards the end of here, I expect we'll still be downtrending for a little while. But who knows? Who knows? Because the alt market is certainly picking up at the moment. We could be looking for another 3 or 4 weeks of this before it suddenly launches. Now, the super area of interest will be down at 16.5 cents. That would be extremely interesting, because that is basically the be all and end all of the bottoms. Yes, we've come down lower than that, but generally we launch, we support, we launch, we support, we bounce, we break down, and we launch, and we've not got there yet, but you know, we could do, and that's the thing. So anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. There's a bit of a boring video, I should say, and I don't really normally focus on certain coins like this, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. It's a top cap coin. It's on Coinbase, so it's been given the royal seal of approval. It's not going to go to zero. There's a fundamental use and a use case for this as well, so it's not going to zero. Is it overvalued at these high levels? I don't think it is either. I don't think it's overvalued even at 50 cents. I don't think it would be overvalued. I think it could easily go to $1 or $2 or more. So these levels are kind of very enticing when you see them. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Just take it easy. Goodbye.